everybody. This is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. We're in Acts chapter 16. I'm going to be reading verses 11 through 15. Here's how it reads. So setting sail from Troas, we made a direct voyage to Samothrace, and the following day to Neapolis, and from there to Philippi, which is a leading city of the district of Macedonia and a Roman colony. We remained in this city some days, and on the Sabbath day we went outside the gate to the riverside where we supposed there was a place of worship, and we sat down and spoke to the women who had come together. One who heard us was a woman named Lydia from the city of Thyatira, a seller of purple goods, and was a worshiper of God. The Lord opened her heart to pay attention to what was said by Paul, and afterwards she was baptized, as was her household. She urged us, saying, "If you have judged me to be faithful to the Lord, come to my house and stay," and she prevailed upon us. So I want to notice a tiny word here. It's the word we. The text read, so setting sail from Troas, we made a direct voyage to an island and then to Philippi. Now this tiny pronoun we is significant because all of a sudden Luke, the author, inserts himself into the story. This means that Dr. Luke, the author, met up with Paul and Silas and Timothy and traveled from Troas to Philippi with them, and then we suppose he probably stayed there for a while in Philippi. Now this city was a fascinating city because it was a wealthy Roman colony. This inferred that it functioned a lot like the capital city of Rome. Think of it kind of like a mini Rome. You see, the emperor at that time organized a few colony cities by ordering Roman citizens, especially retired military, to live in selected places so that there would be this robust pro-Roman presence in those areas. Now, even though these colonized cities were in foreign locations all over the empire, citizens were expected to be loyal to Rome, to obey Roman laws, and to worship the Roman emperor. And in return, they were given certain political privileges if they did move there, like exemption from paying taxes, which was a major retirement incentive. So think of Philippi a lot like Naples, Florida. And there were not a lot of Jews in this specific area, in this city. In fact, we're not aware of a synagogue because actually on the Sabbath, these four dudes, what they do is they don't go to a synagogue, but they go outside the city to a riverside where people are gathered for prayer. And right away at this riverside, they meet a wealthy businesswoman. Her name is Lydia. Now she's converted, she's baptized, and invites the men into her home, and this is the beginnings of a very small church in Philippi. And as many of you know, this church is of significant importance to Paul. So much so that Paul wrote one of his last letters to this church. That letter, of course, is the letter to the Philippians. And in that letter, two themes arise. The first theme surrounds the generosity of the Christian community there. You see, they were generous, and it helped to fund the advancement of the gospel in several key places across the empire. Maybe because the economic climate allowed for it. And then the second theme focuses on the worship of God above all else. And this was a constant tension for these Christians who lived in this city, mainly because the Roman emperor demanded worship and loyalty and compliance. And because he paid for his worship by political coercion, local Christians felt this ongoing obligation to worship the emperor over worshiping God. So maybe you notice that times don't change that much. Their tensions are similar to ours today. They had to navigate the challenges of an indoctrinating political environment motivated by economic benefits for the few who were loyal to them. And we too have to figure out how to navigate and leverage our times for kingdom advantage to build his church here. So today, don't be frustrated with the problems of this world. Instead, let's do what the believers in Philippi had to do. Let's figure out how to navigate them by standing our ground on the central issues of our faith and then leveraging the advantages we have at present to build his kingdom here. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you appreciated this devotional. Share it with someone you know, like it, subscribe to it, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.